Cleopatra, the ruler who commanded the loyalty of Rome's most ambitious men,
vanished from the record in 30 B.C. History preserves her triumphs and her final hours, yet it remains silent on the one detail that matters most. Where does she rest? For 2 millennia,
that question has driven explorers into the desert and down into the dark corners of the earth. They have sifted through tons of sand, mapped every inch of the royal districts, and decoded ancient scrolls. But the tomb remains a ghost. It is the ultimate archaeological void. Is the final chamber buried beneath the silt of the Nile, or has it been erased by the relentless march of time? We have found her palace, her coins, and her statues, yet her grave eludes us.
Every excavation site across the delta ends in the same disappointment. The earth keeps its secrets,
and the search for the queen continues to baffle the greatest minds in history. Somewhere, hidden from the light, she remains, waiting for the one discovery that will rewrite the past. The search moves from the shifting dunes to the cold, crushing depths of the Mediterranean. Beneath the surface, the city of Alexandria rests in a state of suspended animation. Modern sonar technology now cuts through the murky water, scanning the seabed where the royal quarters once stood. We see the geometry of the ancient world emerging from the darkness, limestone columns snapped like matchsticks, marble plazas reclaimed by silt, and the foundations of a palace that once overlooked the harbor. The water has risen significantly since the time of the Ptolemies, swallowing the shoreline and dragging history into the abyss. Every ping of the sonar equipment reveals a new, jagged anomaly on the seafloor, forcing teams to question if the royal burial site was claimed by the sea itself. The deeper the scan,
the more the mystery intensifies. Could the queen be entombed in a chamber now battered by the relentless tides?
The current flows over these sunken ruins, masking the entrance to a site that has been inaccessible for centuries. Every frame of the underwater footage suggests that the answer to her final resting place is not found in the sand, but submerged in the dark, salt-heavy silence of the deep. The search shifts back to the parched earth of the Nile Delta, where the focus turns from the depths to the dust. Archaeologists labor under the relentless sun, clearing away centuries of sediment to expose the skeletal remains of ancient structures. They focus on a temple complex dedicated to Isis and Osiris,
a site long whispered to be the final sanctuary for royalty. The work is surgical.
Every brushstroke removes a millimeter of sand, exposing the distinct geometry of ritual stone foundations. Teams reconstruct the layout of the inner sanctum, mapping the alignment of the pillars against the rising sun.
There is a tangible tension in the air as they reach the lower strata, where the soil darkens and the masonry changes character. A heavy hand-carved stone slab emerges from the trench,
its surface etched with symbols that have not seen the light since the Roman era. The crew stops. The brushes go down. They clear the perimeter, revealing a sealed doorway buried deep within the bedrock. Every layer removed brings the team closer to a hidden chamber. The anticipation grows with every bucket of dirt hauled away.
As the possibility of a discovery becomes more than a theory, it becomes an imminent reality waiting to be unsealed. Stop scrolling. The search for this one queen is merely the tip of a much larger, darker iceberg.
Her disappearance links directly to the greatest unsolved riddles of human history. Consider the tomb of Alexander the Great, a man who conquered the known world, only to vanish from the records alongside his golden sarcophagus. Consider the burial site of Genghis Khan, protected by rivers diverted to hide his final location, a secret kept by the earth for nearly 8 centuries.
These are not just isolated historical gaps. They are part of a singular,
monumental puzzle that has defined the limits of modern archaeology. When we analyze the missing tomb of this last Egyptian ruler, we are walking the same trail of shadows that investigators have followed for generations. The connection is undeniable.
Each missing monarch creates a void in our collective timeline, a vacuum that attracts the most brilliant minds and the most desperate treasure hunters. This is no longer just a dig in the Nile Delta.
It is a high-stakes hunt that spans continents and centuries. We are looking at a pattern of royal erasure that defies explanation.
The evidence suggests that the most powerful figures in antiquity were not merely buried, they were hidden.
Their final resting places shielded by design, by time, and by the sheer scale of the legends they left behind. The debate divides the experts. Some point to the catastrophic tsunami of 365 AD,
arguing that the surge leveled the coastal temples and ground history into silt and sea salt. To them, the tomb is gone, pulverized by the force of the Mediterranean. Others refuse to accept this end. They point to the hidden chambers within temple bedrock, sealed by stone and protected by ancient ritual. They believe the queen remains shielded by the very gods she once served.
waiting in a pocket of air or a vault of granite. The conflict is stark. Total erasure or the greatest discovery in human history.
We are standing at the threshold of a revelation. Could we be days away from pulling back the veil that has obscured her for 2 millennia?
The evidence is shifting. The tools are ready, and the map is narrowing. Do not let this mystery remain unsolved.
Hit the subscribe button to join the hunt for the truth.
Check our next video as we dive into the lost tomb of Alexander the Great and continue our search for the missing monarchs of the ancient world.
The next chapter of this history is being written right now.